Hey guys, this is Joker here, back to you today with another video. And today I just wanted to take the time to talk about the fact that I'll never have a wife. And, I never even had a girlfriend. And honestly, I don't want a girlfriend because that's kid shit. And, by kid shit, I mean it's literally kid shit for a guy to have a girlfriend because after all, that's something that fucking kids do ultimately. Like, boys in fucking elementary school have girlfriends. I mean, not all of them or most of them, but some of them definitely do. And by middle school, and especially high school, most guys do have girlfriends. By middle school and especially high school, when it really starts to take off. And because I feel like I missed out on my chance of having a girlfriend when I was a lot younger. That's why I just feel like I'm too old to even have a girlfriend, even if I wanted a girlfriend. And again, I don't want a girlfriend because I want a wife. Because, I mean, let's face it, I'm almost 26 years old. I'll be 26 on February 12th of this month, of this year. I'm not getting any younger. And yet, I still don't have a girlfriend, let alone a wife, which is what I want even way more than having a girlfriend. Because I'll be honest here, when I wanted a girlfriend, that was when I was a teenager. Years ago, in like 2012, 2013, when I was 15, 16 years old, when I was in 9th grade high school, which again was years ago, because I'm not 15 or 16 anymore. I mean, I still wanted a girlfriend even after the time I dropped out of high school, which was in April of 2013 when I was 16 years old. And, in 2014, I was only 17. 2015, I was 18. 2016, I was 19. And I, of course, still wanted a girlfriend then. And I would say I still wanted a girlfriend up until I would say the age of like 20, 21, 22 years old, maybe 23. But around 24, 25 years old, I was like, I don't really even want a girlfriend anymore. Fuck that. Screw that. I want a wife. I want a full-on wife. And I don't know if any of you can understand how I feel about this. Especially if you can't relate. You couldn't possibly understand how I feel. Like, I'm just crushed. And I mean, the reason why I also want a wife and wish I had one more than anything is because of the fact that, when it came to most guys I went to school with, for example, they were dating and had girlfriends since they were teenagers. And even kids, for that matter. They started dating probably in, I don't know, fucking 7th or 8th grade. Or maybe the summer before 9th grade high school. I don't know. Like, all these guys that I grew up with and going to school with when I was growing up as a kid and a teenager, they were surpassing me in every possible way. I mean, they were more attractive than me. They were taller than me. They were ripped, as in, like, they worked out. They were good at football. They were good at wrestling. They were confident. They had self-esteem. They had charm. They were, like, easy with the girls. I mean, when flirting with the girls, it was like a piece of cake for them. It was so damn easy for them. And, they just always had it easy when it came to them, flirting with girls or asking out girls or doing whatever with them. And, whereas I myself was the black sheep. I was the oddball out. I was the nobody, the outcast, the outsider, the loser, the loner, the lone wolf, the guy who was left out, excluded from the rest of the crowd. And it made me feel extremely insecure when going to high school, knowing that I didn't have a girlfriend, but every other guy did. Every other guy. Except me. I was the only guy who didn't. And you know what also sucked about my situation in high school was the fact that every single girl I had a crush on, that I was severely attracted to, already had a boyfriend. They were already matched up with someone. And so I wouldn't have even been able to get with any of the girls that I actually did really like and had a very extreme severe crush on and was like totally sexually attracted to and lustful towards, because they were attractive and good looking and beautiful and gorgeous and sexy and hot and cute and adorable. You know, they already had someone. They were already matched up with someone. And the guys that they were dating, that they were matched up with, that they were in a sexual relationship with, again, they were, and I'm talking about the guys here, they were way taller than me, way more good looking, in good shape, you know, good at sports, football, wrestling, etc. They were popular due to the fact that they were, you know, good at sports and good with the girls and had lots of friends. They had their own car and just shit like that. You know, when I was going to high school, a lot of the guys that I was going to high school with who were like my age or around my age, it seemed like they already had like everything made for them in their life. In their lives, I mean. The fact that they had all these things already, and they were only teenagers. They just had it fucking made for themselves. Whereas I myself didn't have shit. Didn't have jack shit. And you know, also, you know, I was so jealous and envious of these guys. I hated them. And in my opinion, I had all the right and reason to hate them, to be jealous and envious of them, to be just absolutely bitter and enraged towards them. Because they had so many good things going for them in their lives. They were way more lucky, blessed, fortunate, and privileged than compared to me. And also, they had a unfair advantage compared to me. And you know what? I will even go as far as to say, you know, compared to me, these guys I went to school with were like, they were like movie stars. I mean that in like looks wise or like height wise or whatever, like compared to me, and I'm dead serious. They had like movie star looks. If I were to show any of you photos of these guys I went to school with, you'd probably be pretty shocked and surprised yourselves. Just how much more good looking and attractive and handsome these guys that I went to school with were than I was. And when I was in school, I was this short, chubby kid, this short, fat kid. I wasn't obese, and I never was or have been in my life, but, you know, when I was a little kid growing up, and even up until like around the age of 15, 16 years old, I was a fat kid. I was a chubby kid. And I was also short. You know, I've never been that tall in my life. And especially compared to all the guys I went to school with who like literally towered over me. You know, I was like a fucking midget compared to them, a fucking dwarf. Honest to God. I was like non-existent to the girls I liked. Invisible. I was a fucking ghost in that place. And Not to mention the fact that going to high school, even for the short amount or period of time that I did, traumatized me. It fucking traumatized me. It was one of the worst times and experiences of my life that I have ever had to go through. It hurt me in the long run. And going to high school was the thing that made me aware of so many things that I was missing out on in life. So many experiences, so many things. It made me realize, and it really did open my eyes to see just how much I was deprived of, how much I was underprivileged, how much I was sheltered growing up as a child, growing up as a kid in the home and family that I grew up in, and with the parents that I had, that I was born to. I really felt like even by age 15, 16, 2012, 2013, I just really felt like I was missing out on so much wonderful, amazing, awesome, incredible, outstanding, out of this world, fun, exciting, thrilling experiences, regardless of what they were. And I would say the thing that crushed me the most and just straight up tortured and tormented me emotionally was the fact that I didn't have a girlfriend when I was a teenager, even though I wanted one. I wanted one so badly and desperately, more than any of you could ever possibly know or understand. But I didn't. I didn't have one. Not even close. I never had anything close to a girlfriend. And, I know a lot of guys love to, get on my ass about the fact that there was just one girl, just one, that's it, that's all, who asked me out in high school. But guess what? I didn't like her. And guess what? I didn't have to. And when I rejected her, I didn't reject her as harshly as the girls that I liked and had a crush on would have rejected me. So you can believe that. And you know what? I wasn't even trying to be that mean to her. It's not like I hated her or like really had it in for her. Of course not. I just didn't like her. Hell, I wasn't even her friend. And, and plus, I thought she already had a boyfriend, for one. For two, I didn't like the fact that she was a smoker. And for three, I'm pretty sure she was a whore. And I do not want to date a girl who has been even with one other guy. Fuck that. Absolutely not. I'll pass. Hard pass. If I'm going to get with a girl and I want her to be, and I expect her to be, a fucking virgin. Just like me. I mean, why the fucking hell would I, sell myself short by getting with a girl who's a whore? By getting with a girl who's been with so many guys and sucks dick and takes dick up the ass and smokes and does drugs. And, is not even like me anyways. I mean, most girls in this world are nothing at all like me. If I'm going to date a girl or especially marry one, then I want her to be as much like me as possible. I mean, why is that so hard to understand? And I will say this, that a lot of you guys are absolute simps, that you judge me and you ridicule me and you bash me and you harass me and you just, I don't know, try to beat me while I'm down just because I turned down one fucking girl in high school. One. The only damn girl who even asked me out, and I wasn't even attracted to her. I didn't even like her. I didn't hate her, but I didn't like her. I wasn't attracted to her. And again, in my defense, I didn't have to be attracted to her because I wasn't. I didn't have to like her. Just because she asked me out doesn't mean I had to be like, oh yeah, okay, I'll go on a date with you, sure. No, I didn't have to, and that's why I didn't. If I'm going to go out with a girl, I need to be sexually attracted to her. I need to like her. I need to have a crush on her. I need to find her attractive in order for me to even be persuaded to want to go out on a date with a girl. And guess what? If any of the girls I actually had a crush on and actually did like in high school would have asked me out, I would have went on a date with all of them if they asked me out. I'm dead serious. But not a single girl that I liked and had a crush on ever asked me out, or was even my friend. No girls were even my friend, or friends with me, in other words. They hardly even looked at me, even though I would stare at them and just constantly foam at the mouth and pretty much, in my mind, fantasize about being with these girls I had a crush on that I liked. Whether that was like daydream about me being with them or actually have dreams about, being with them, like either just as in being a boyfriend to them or a full-on husband. I don't know, like, and that was the closest thing that I ever had to having any amount or level of experience of being with a girl was in my imagination, in my fantasy fictional world that I created in my mind. And, I think it is just really pathetic and pitiful that so many of you guys just hate me and really have it in for me because I turned down one single girl. You act as if I turned down a shitload of girls. Now, if that would have been the case, then of course I would have been an idiot and a moron and a stupid fucking retard if I turned down a bunch of girls, obviously. But just from turning down one girl, just one, that's it. And I get this insane amount of backlash. It's just ridiculous. It's unbelievable. And it just goes to show me as a guy that you men are simping for that girl that I turned down, that I rejected in high school. You're simping. You're being a sucker for her. Even though, guess what? She didn't even end up that bad anyways. As in, like, getting with people and having sex with other guys and, getting her ass eaten out and pussy eaten out and getting fucked in the ass and, and dick shoved down her throat or whatever. She had endless boyfriends. So I wouldn't feel bad or sorry for that bitch anyways. She was a fucking skank, a whore, a hoe, a slut, a thought. I could go on, but you get my point. I didn't feel bad or sorry for her, not one damn bit, not the slightest minuscule amount. Because again, like, me rejecting her, me turning her down, didn't hurt her chances of getting with other guys in her life as she grew up as a teenager. So why the fucking hell should I feel bad and sorry for her just because I turned her down and rejected her? Did that ruin her life? Did that break her heart? I mean, maybe it broke her heart a little slight bit, maybe, or amount. I don't know. But it definitely didn't hurt her in the long run because she got with other guys. Lots of them. She had plenty of dick. So I don't feel bad and sorry for her. And yet you guys simp for her and you got your fucking faces shoved so far up her ass and you don't even fucking personally know her. It's just, wow. It is outrageous that men simp for girls. Like, what the fuck? That is so fucking pathetic and pitiful and just lame. Just, oh my God, you guys are so very lame. The fact that you simp for a girl you don't even know, whereas I did. I can't even believe you guys. And I'm also never going to have a wife because, when it comes to girls that I like, that I have a crush on, I'm shy of them. I'm introverted around girls that I like, that I have a crush on, that I am sexually attracted to. Because the girls I like, the girls I have a crush on, the girls I'm sexually attracted to, whether they're famous girls or not, are pretty. They're sexy, they're hot, they're gorgeous, they're beautiful, they're cute, they're adorable. I could go on. They're good looking, they're super attractive. And I just can't help but feel to myself that they're way out of my league. I don't even have a chance with any of them. Not even a chance. Because first of all, I'm not that tall. Second of all, I'm not successful in life, as in like having a job, having my own car, having my own place, and I don't know, maybe making 50 to 55,000 a year at least, if not more. Let's see. I don't have game. I have absolutely no level of confidence or self-esteem whatsoever. I'm not smooth with the ladies. I hardly go out in the world and do anything. And obviously I don't even have my own damn car. So obviously I'm not going to go out in the world and, try to track down a girl who's going to maybe or perhaps like me or find me attractive. And, I'll never have a wife because, when it comes to a guy like me who at the very most is average looking, and because I'm only average looking at best, at the most, and shy and introverted around, and because of pretty girls, that just literally ruins and wrecks all chance and opportunity that I myself personally would ever have of getting with a girl in my entire life. It's over for me. It never began. And, because I'm not handsome, because I'm not that tall, because I'm not wealthy or successful in my life in any way, shape, or form, girls are going to find me creepy. Because, again, I'm average looking at best. I am not handsome. I know I'm not ugly, but I am certainly not handsome. Again, I am only at the very most, at best, average looking. And you know what? When it comes to most guys, same with even most girls, most people in general are a mix of both average and ugly looking. There's only a small percentage of human beings in this world, both of guys and girls, who are, attractive. There's only 10 to 20% of people who are actually attractive, whereas the other 80% are a mix of average and ugly. And I'm one of those average looking guys. And, it's a known fact that nowadays it's near impossible for even an average looking guy to get with a girl. This is not the fucking 2000s anymore. It's not the 90s or the 80s or the 70s or the 60s, 50s, 40s or earlier. It's the 2020s. And even since the 2010s, when social media first started to really take off in the early 2010s, I would say, with the invention of Instagram, Snapchat, and all that shit, and hell, even Facebook existed since 2004, but young people don't really use that much. Only really millennials do. But Twitter existed since 2006, so it's Twitter is one of the things that a lot of young people use. Same with Instagram and Snapchat and YouTube. And YouTube existed since 2005. But the social media apps that really ruined women were Instagram and dating apps such as Tinder and other ones similar to that. Instagram, I would say, was and is by far the pinnacle of the worst app to have ever been created or exist in this world that has really did a number on girls and women. It has really destroyed, wrecked, ruined, and just, I don't know, hurt them in the long run. And, Instagram has been around since the early 2010s. I don't know exactly what year it was invented, but I think it was maybe 2010, 2011, 2012, something like that. But, it's just over for me. I have nothing to offer. Even if I were to, hypothetically speaking, get with a girl who would maybe want to marry me, maybe, I would have nothing to offer. Absolutely nothing. At least I'm being honest here. At least I'm being upfront and straightforward. At least I'm not lying and pretending to be someone or something that I'm not. And, I'm going to be honest here. Like, if I were to get with a woman, I would expect her to take care of me. I would expect her to be the breadwinner. And you know what? For a lot of women nowadays, they are the breadwinners. They're easily able to provide for themselves or a husband or, hell, even a big-ass family at that. Many girls are rich. I'm honestly shocked just by the amount of girls who can easily become rich when it comes to girls who use the internet for, like, gaming, for example, on YouTube and Twitch. But also, girls can become rich off of OnlyFans. They can also become rich off of Instagram. And ultimately, they can really become rich off of any app or platform of any kind, because girls can just easily expect, or hell, even demand or ask some stupid, random idiots online who are men, who are simps, and especially because there's so many of them on the internet, who will just give money to these random stranger women hand over fist like there's no tomorrow. They just cough up all their life earnings and they just give it to these girls as if they expect something out of it, even though they don't really get anything from it at all. They don't. And yet they keep making these girls rich, like overnight stars, overnight successes. Like, it's so easy for women and girls, and just so simple for them, and just so very basic for them to become rich, for them to become overnight stars, literally. And it's like, I would be so very lucky if I were to ever get with any of these girls. I would honestly believe that I've struck gold, or diamonds for that matter. I would believe that a miracle has just happened in my life. I would literally believe that. I shit you not. Like, it would be a dream come true for me if that were to happen. Because, if I were to get a job, I would never be able to get a job that would, give me the amount of money or income to be able to provide for a wife, and especially children, for that matter. And, children are expensive as fuck. The more you have, the more money you have to make in the long run, ultimately, or even at the very start. Like, if you have, I don't know, 3 kids, 4 kids, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or so on and so forth, you need a boatload of money. You need a fuck ton of money. You need a lot of money. And guess what? with all the jobs that I myself personally could get in real life, would never give me enough to provide for a family. Absolutely not. Not even close. All the money I could make at any job that I could realistically get would not make me enough, would not give me enough. But, if I were to get with any of these girls who are rich as hell, they could not only provide for me, but for our children. These women and girls are so very selfish and greedy. They think they're entitled to and deserve all that money, and honestly, they don't. As a matter of fact, I don't believe anyone should be rich. I don't believe men should be or women should be. Nobody deserves to be rich at all. Period. It's not fair for anyone in this world to be rich. It's messed up because guess what? Nobody needs to have millions and billions of dollars unless they have a big ass family. If that's the case, then I guess I can understand that then. But guess what? Nobody needs unnecessary things such as mansions, expensive fancy cars, and I don't know, like all this shit that is just so shallow and superficial. Nobody needs or deserves all of it. And it really annoys me and irritates me when I see so many girls and women who are so rich and who are most likely, if anything, single. And even if they're not virgins, they're single. And it's like, they don't have any kids. They don't have a boyfriend. They don't have a husband. And it's like, why do they need all that money? Why should they deserve it? Why should they have it? I could understand if they wanted to get married and have tons of kids, they'd easily be able to provide for their husband and kids. And guess what? Their husband wouldn't have to work a job a day in his life. And then maybe guess what? He could become a YouTube gamer or something. He could be rich then. So that could just double their income. Like if she's rich and buys him shit where he doesn't have to work a day in his life, or her, because so many girls ultimately don't have to if they don't want to, then guess what? He can become rich then. And then it's like, guess what? Then they'll be even more rich. They'll be double rich. So it's like, how awesome and great would that be? That would be a dream come true. And that's what I wish would happen to me. But it probably never will. I'm just fantasizing here. I really am. I'm just fantasizing here. There is no promise or guarantee that that's ever going to happen to me. And again, it probably never will because, you know what? I'm a virgin almost at the age of 26. I've never had a girlfriend, let alone wife. And I have no game, no confidence, no self-esteem. And honestly, I don't want to because, realistically, you can't have something or what I meant to say was you can't be someone that you're not. You can't. Like, you can try to fake it all you want, but you cannot be someone you're not. It's like someone who's not famous pretending you're acting like they are. You can't do that. Or it's like someone who's just a nobody pretending to be some celebrity. You can try all you want, but you'll never be that celebrity because you're just a nobody. You're a non-famous person. You're just a basic, average human being. And in the same way, like, if you're a shy, introverted guy of pretty women, you can't be a confident, charming guy who has an overwhelming amount of self-esteem and who is just so smooth and good with the ladies and a ladies' man and just has all these girlfriends or wives or whatever. Like, it's just a piece of cake and just an everyday thing for you. Like, I hate it. I hate it the way it is. I don't just hate the game. I hate women too. I hate girls. And I will never stop hating them until they start making the first move, until they start approaching men, until they start asking them out, until they start giving creepy guys a chance, until they start, falling in love with guys who are virgins, who are literally lined up for them. or guys who are incels. Like, women create incels. But, you know, that's just the facts. Women create incels. They really do. And I already made a video about that, but anyways, let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. I'm out.